Hello everyone, this is Review. Well, hello ladies and gentlemen, and everyone watching. This is the Unnamed Drink series, where it's a series and I haven't a name for it, so it's just unnamed, and the pause is left there accordingly. Where I sit here and I analyze the latest and most incredible consumable drinkable concoctions on the market today. And Starbucks has another one out for you. Starbucks, I go to Starbucks every day. I'm a big consumer of their wares, you can say. I usually just stick with the standard, lattes and whatnot, and sometimes the baked goods. I've been branching out of the baked goods, but they've got a new Frappuccino out. You know how they do this stuff up. They go hardcore. When they see an idea out there for a Frappuccino, they don't just see it, they seize it. They just blow that thing right out of the water. And I mean, they always just go all out. And this one is no exception. It's the Crystal Ball Frappuccino from Starbucks. And this is something else. It's your Frappuccino, right? It's supposed to be peach flavored, which was interesting. Now, I'm not a big, peach connoisseur. I can't say I grab a peach, from the tree outside and squeeze the juice into my mouth every morning or anything like that. So it was odd, it was odd. I was thinking a peach-flavored drink from Starbucks. But, what the heck? It might be something interesting, something to try out, so I'm still going to go for it anyway. It's supposed to be peach-flavored, have a peach-flavored whipped cream, and then here's the big thing. They call it a Crystal Ball Frappuccino. Well, why is that? Because they say, you have the possibility of getting one of 3 different candied gems in this beverage. And they said not even your barista knows which one it's going to be. So it's like a crystal ball, It's trying to predict the future, and you just don't know. So it's adding that air of mystery to it. And, you're just going to want to go out and buy this just to think, gosh, what color sprinkles am I going to get on this, Crazy stuff. Well, anyway, by candy gems, of course, they mean sprinkles, hence what's there. And you can get one of 3 different kinds. You can get these purplish, purple, I call it a purple type color sprinkle on it. You could also get a greenish color one. You get a bluish one too. I like the little hue in this. This is actually very pretty. I like how it kind of starts off more white towards the top there and then kind of gets a little green toward the bottom. That's really cool, actually. I like that. Kind of actually suits their logo pretty well anyway, but that's cool. So that's the view of the drink there. You can see the gems right there. And there's the rest of the beverage. And there's me with the beverage. And now we're going to find out what it tastes like. So again, I'm expecting some peach flavor out of this, but you never know. I haven't tried this yet. You never know till you try, so I'm going to try this right now. It's the Crystal Ball Frappuccino from Starbucks going in. Wow. Boy, that's something else. Real smooth, goes down easy. As you'd expect from a Frappuccino. A little bit of tug or drag to it from the fine ice particulate matter, but nothing of any inconvenience. Just pretty smooth as it should be. Try this whipped cream here. Try to get some of these crystals here, or gems, or whatever they're called. time travel Frappuccino from Starbucks. I was actually taken back from the first sip. To be quite honest, when they describe it on their website very straightforward. They say that it's going to be peachy. It's going to have this peach flavor. But considering a lot of the drinks that you get from Starbucks, it's not a familiar flavor on their repertoire. You're not really used to it. You expect something to maybe have that just coffee-esque taste. Yeah, at least I'm a big Starbucks consumer myself, and I always get these coffee, latte type drinks. And it always has that certain specific flavor to it. It could be vanilla, it could be caramel, it could be etc. It has a certain type of little, a certain unifying flavor to it. And in the form of just, coffee beans and all of that. Well, this one, on the other hand, it's like you're drinking, it's like you're drinking almost peach juice. That's how it is. It's crazy. It's very sweet, it's very peachy, and it's very profoundly so in both of those categories. There's no coffee-like flavor to this, none whatsoever, no bitterness, nothing of any of that sort. It's just a smooth drink, really sweet, sugary obviously, and extremely, extremely peachy. If you like peaches, you're gonna love this thing. That's all that I can say, really. It's like a dessert-esque beverage, I'd say, considering the sweetness that goes along with it. And again, if you just like peaches, you're gonna really like this. If you abhor peaches, if you say, I hate this stupid peaches, if I saw one, I'd run it over with my car, because I hate peaches so much, then you wouldn't like this drink. But otherwise you might, otherwise you might just have an air of indifference to it. But again, you like peaches, you're gonna like this drink. Now, when it comes down to the whipped cream, and then the last thing, the little crystals that you get on top of the beverage, they did mention that the whipped cream was supposed to be peach flavor. It was a little bit, but the drink itself is far more peach, peach flavored than the whipped cream is. And as for the little crystals, that's really, I felt, what they tried to laud the most when it came down to this. Crystal ball. I guess I call these crystals. They call them gems in the Starbucks vernacular, but I call them crystals. They look more like little crystals to me, anyway. They're flavorless. It's like they're just little sugary candies. Kind of when I was looking at the website there, and when they advertised it, I was expecting, and you'll see the way they word it, like they give you this huge, giant, unique piece of candy there that's gonna look like a gemstone of some sort. And I thought that was gonna be like the big decorating garnish, but actually it's just a fancy word for the little sprinkle-like candies that are topping it, which are just sugary, but it's not like each one has its own distinct flavor. Rather, it's just that they're sugary. It adds more sugariness to an already sugary beverage. But for what it is, I think it suits this springtime season very nicely. Just, you know what you're in for now. And again, if you like peaches, you'll like this. But all in all, I think they executed this drink very nicely. It tastes pretty good, as I said. It's smooth. And for the price, I'd say this was pretty good, too. Now, speaking of, actually, I got the receipt here. Let me just get the specific price. I remember for what it was, so it wasn't too bad. Let me find it. It's $5.45, which this was for a grande. But again, with all of these Starbucks novelties, of course you're paying a little bit extra because it's limited time, you know the whole deal when it comes down to that. But they did a good job with it, so you get your money's worth. And again, I think it's a pretty good seasonal drink. Enjoy it while it's out. It's going to be gone, I think, Tuesday. So enjoy it while it's there. I'm enjoying this one. And out of 10, I'm going to be giving this. I'm going to give it a 9.0 flat out of 10. Because, again, even I myself, I'm not the biggest peach consumer in the world. But for what it is, they did a good job. And I haven't really much, if any, criticism to send its way. I think they just did a good job with it, and that's all that I have. Alright, with that being said, today's a Sunday. If you're interested, later in the day, you could check out The VORW radio show, it's repeated every Sunday on international shortwave. You can find the frequencies. They'll be up after this video. Also find more information in the cards for the SoundCloud page and in the description. Tune in if you're interested. It's something I do every week. And with that being said, that's all that I have for you. I'll see you again in a couple days with another video. Until then, I'm your host, the Report of the Week. Today's review again was for the Crystal Ball Frappuccino from Starbucks. Thank you for watching and take care.